Taxes. Your first paycheck finally lands. You already spent it in your head. 40 hours, 15 an hour, 600 bucks, done. You open it, maybe 500 and change. Somebody got there before you, took a cut, and the wild part is, it was completely legal. That somebody is the government, and this is taxes. Think of taxes as the cover charge for living in a country that actually works. Roads, schools, the fire truck that shows up when your toaster tries to kill you, someone's gotta pay for it. And spoiler, it's you. And it's not one tax, it's a whole buffet. Income tax takes a bite of what you earn. Sales tax jumps on everything you buy. Property tax shows up if you're fancy enough to own a home. And capital gains waits until an investment goes up and you sell it. Then takes a bite of the profit. Nobody teaches you any of this. You just watch the number get smaller and learn to nod along. The takeaway. The number they hire you at and the number that lands in your account are two totally different numbers. Learn the second one. That one's real. Banks. You hand a bank $1,000 and in your head, it drops into a vault, guarded by a dragon, with your name on it. Adorable. That money's already gone. That 1,000 doesn't sit untouched in a private vault. It joins the bank's funding machine while the bank makes loans, buys assets, and collects interest. Your money is working the night shift while you sleep. Your cut? At the wrong savings account, a rate that pays you, and I mean this generously, basically nothing. The bank rents your cash out for steak and hands you back the crumbs. That's the whole game. Now don't freak out. In the US, your deposits are insured up to $250,000 per depositor, per insured bank, per ownership category. So even if the bank face plants, your money's safe in there. It's just not growing in there. The takeaway. A bank is great for keeping short-term money safe. It usually isn't where long-term money grows fastest. Interest. You buy a $900 phone on a credit card, pay only the minimum like the box politely suggests, and that phone can end up costing you hundreds more. And take years to erase. Nobody stole the difference. You volunteered it. That's interest. Interest is just the rent money charges for sitting in someone else's hands. Borrow it, you pay the rent. Lend it, you collect the rent. Done. And it comes in two flavors. Simple interest is calculated only on the principal. Thanks for playing. Compound interest is spicier. The interest earns its own interest, so every dollar quietly makes clones, and the clones want paying too. That's gorgeous when it's working for you, and a slow-motion mugging when it's working against you. The takeaway. Paying interest? Kill it fast. Earning it? Sit down, hush, and let it cook. Inflation. Same bag of chips you've bought your whole life, same price except you open it and it's 40% air and a promise. Or your $1 candy bar is now $1.75 and somehow smaller. That's inflation. And yeah, you just got robbed in slow motion. Inflation is the slow leak in the value of money. Prices climb, which means every dollar quietly buys a little less. A little of this is normal. The folks in charge actually aim for about 2% a year on purpose, just to keep things moving. The real problem is cash sitting still. That 20 in your wallet is worth a tiny bit less every single year. It does nothing. The takeaway. If your money grows slower than inflation, its buying power is shrinking. Standing still isn't a thing. Recessions. One day, the coffee machine at work disappears. Then, 3 of your coworkers do too. Your uncle starts every sentence with, "In this economy." Congratulations, you're in a recession. A recession is just the economy shifting into reverse. It stops growing and starts shrinking. Spending drops, companies get nervous, jobs get cut, so people spend even less, which cuts even more jobs. It feeds itself. The rough rule people throw around is 2 quarters in a row of things going backward. Back in 2008, the housing market face-planted and dragged half the planet down with it. But here's what nobody says while you're panicking. Recessions are normal. The economy breathes in and out, It's done this over and over and over. Every US recession so far has eventually ended. That doesn't make them painless, it makes them temporary. The takeaway: a recession isn't the end of the world, it's the part of the ride where the calm money goes shopping. Credit score: you walk in to rent an apartment. The landlord doesn't care if you're a nice person. He pulls up a 3-digit number that's been quietly judging you for years and decides your future off it. That's your credit score, and it runs from 300 at the bottom to 850 at the top. It's basically your financial reputation, a score for how reliably you pay people back. The two biggest things that move it: paying your bills on time, every time, and not maxing out the credit you've already got. Treat it like a pet. Feed it, walk it, give it a little attention, and it opens doors. Cheaper loans, nicer apartments, smaller deposits. Ignore it, and it poops all over your life at the worst possible moment, like when you're standing at a car dealership trying to look like you belong there. The takeaway: your bank balance stays mostly private. Your credit follows you into decisions you never knew it was invited to. Currency: take a 20 out of your pocket and really look at it. It's a slip of cotton and linen paper with a dead guy printed on it. By itself, it's worth nothing. And somehow you can hand it over and walk away with lunch, and the person taking it is thrilled about it. That's currency. And here's the secret: it's not actually real. That 20 has value for exactly one reason. Everyone agrees it does. It's called fiat money, which is a fancy way of saying it's worth something because the government says so, and we all play along. The difference between that bill and a random stick isn't the raw material, it's the legal system and shared belief behind it. The dollar used to be tied to gold. Not anymore. Now it's backed by law and trust, which sounds flimsy, right up until you notice the whole economy runs on it just fine. The takeaway: money is a group belief. It works perfectly, right up until people stop believing. And that's a whole other video. Investing: two people, $1,000 each. One shoves it in a shoebox in the closet, the other buys a little slice of a diversified fund. 10 years later, the shoebox still holds $1,000, worth less now, thanks to our buddy inflation. The invested money had a chance to grow, although markets don't sign guarantees. That's investing. Investing is just money that stops sitting around and starts working for you. Instead of trading your time for money, you trade money for more money. So what can you actually buy? Stocks: a tiny ownership slice of a real company. Bonds: you loan money to a company or a government and they pay you back with interest. Funds: one big basket of stocks and bonds, so you're not betting everything on a single horse. And real estate: property you buy hoping someone else pays to live in it. The magic isn't picking the one perfect winner, it's time and compounding. Small gains stacking on top of each other, year after boring year, until the pile gets genuinely embarrassing. The takeaway: it's not about timing the market, it's about time in the market. Start ugly, start small, but start. Value: pick up a rock. It's a rock, it's worth nothing. Now imagine that rock is rare, shiny, and yellow. Congrats, it's gold, and somebody will hand you a car for it. Here's the thing: the gold is more useful than an ordinary rock, but usefulness alone doesn't explain the price. Rarity, demand, and belief do most of the heavy lifting. That's value, and understanding it is basically the cheat code to getting rich. Value is just a thing people are willing to pay for. That's the whole definition. Apple helped put a computer in your pocket. Massive value. So millions of people happily handed over their money. Same reason doctors and lawyers get paid a fortune. They solve big, painful, scary problems. So people pay big to make them go away. It's even why a designer label can sell basically the same handbag as a cheap store and charge 100 times more. People believe it's worth more, so it is. The takeaway: money chases value. Figure out how to create something people actually want, real value or just perceived value. And the money has a reason to show up. So stop chasing the money. Chase the value. Time. Two friends invest the same amount each month. One starts at 25 and stops at 35. The other waits until 35 and keeps going. Depending on the returns, the early starter can still finish ahead. Not guaranteed, but that's what a 10-year head start can do. That's time, and it's the single most powerful force in all of money. Also, the one thing you can never, ever buy more of. Every dollar you invest gets multiplied by how long you leave it alone. So a dollar working for 40 years quietly smokes $10 working for 4. Starting early can beat starting bigger later. It's an advantage, not a guarantee. Which means the best day to start was years ago. The second best day is today. So be honest with yourself. You gonna keep waiting for the perfect moment, or are you gonna start?